So the market has just opened right away, and you can see we're just 10 minutes into this week. It promises to be a very great week. I'm looking at how we ended last week. This week promises to be a very good one, and I'm gonna take this down. So we'll be looking out for the DXY, which is the very first pair we'll be looking out for today. This meeting is just gonna last for 30 minutes, and we're done. It's just a weekly breakdown. It's nothing much, just a weekly breakdown. So right here we have the DXY, and we know this. The main purpose of the DXY is to give us an outlook into how we'll be trading the dollar for the week, to see how the dollar behaved last week, and what we should be expecting this week. Now, right from last week, we had this move right here to this other block, and we saw how price reacted to this point, and our price reacted to this point. So right now, we are being bullish on the dollar. After the price moved impulsively, we had this little bit of correction before we're seeing price breaking through and going up. And we trade a little bit different in trade house, not making use of the normal retail pattern of trading. We trade a little bit different. We learn to take advantage of how the banks trade, and we try to do that from our end. Now, after price actually sniped this other block right here, we had this bullish move, and price created an inefficiency right here, also known as an imbalance or an improper price action. Right here, we saw this whole bullish move and the rest. And we'll see this is the 50%. We saw how price came back to the 50%, and now this would have given us another entry at this point for us to go higher, another entry at this point for us to go higher. On the DXY, I'll be looking out for price to go to the 9400 from some fundamental standpoint, not from anything technical, just from some fundamental standpoint. Before I'll be looking to short right down to this IPA area, this inefficiency area. So on the DXY this week, I'm gonna be bullish. That means on the dollar, I'll be bullish, and any pair having the dollar as the base, I'm going to be bullish on that pair. Then any pair having the dollar as the quote, I'm going to be bearish on that pair. So right away, we'll be going to other currency pairs, looking at very few currencies, nothing much, something few. And the first of all, the first one we'll be looking out for is USD CHF, which has a very close correlation to the DXY with similar charts and all. So last week we saw, we've already marked this pair, so I'll just be doing a very quick move on the chart. We thought price was going to come down here to clear liquidity and also mitigate another block right here before going up. But you don't predict the market, you all only react to what price has to do. But we saw price come down here, and now price gave us this sell to buy, creating this will I say consolidation right there, and a fake out. So we're expecting price to go higher on this. Take profit levels, we'll be targeting these highs, and finally this high. Then this is the main area I'll be targeting before I'll be looking to short the dollar. But for this week, I'll be looking out for price to do something like this back here and go up or right to this point. But our potential take profit levels are these equal highs right here. We can use them as potential take profit level. Then the final one will be this right here. So for USD CHF, this is basically what you are looking out for. Then before we expect price to drop from here right down to this area, or to this area right here. So we're just going to be reacting to the market. As we all know, fundamentals move the market, and technicals, we that just trade technicals, we only react to what the fundamentals is actually being is actually trying to do. So you don't actually predict the market, you only react to it. It will be important for you to just have a little knowledge of how fundamental tends to affect the market. Now for USD card, we'll be looking out for USD card, which will be our next pair. After the Zoom class, I'll be sending my charts down to the groups. So if you're on the groups, you can have access to my charts. But if you're not on the group, do well to actually be on the group. So right here, we had this move on USD card. So what are we expecting USD card to do? I'm just going to take off a little thing, some little things on these, and I'm telling you what I'm expecting USD card to do. I'm going to go straight to the daily time frame. It's very important to analyzing. Go straight to the daily time frame to be very sure of what you're doing. We saw how price took out this high, so we're going to mark it as an X, and we saw how price came right at this point, and we had this impulsive move breaking this high. Right here, we had a break of market structure. Right there, we had a break of market structure. So what are we anticipating? We either anticipating for price to actually pull back a little bit. Here we'll go to a lower time frame so that we'll look for a very nice pullback. We saw how price pulled back, cleared this area of liquidity right here, cleared that area of liquidity right here, and now we are waiting for price to just give us a little bit of nice correction to this area before we go up. Now, where are we going up to? We are going up to this area right here, of which it was taken out also, this area, or we're going up to this place. If we should go on lower time frame, we're likely going to see other blocks right there, or we're going right at the candle that took out liquidity, which is this candle, right at this candle here that took out liquidity, which is that candle. So that is that for USD CAD. I'm just going to be very quick on this. So from this point, you might be looking for price to drop right here to this other block. Remember, we have these areas, this area of liquidity right here that needs to be taken out. And if you should zoom in very well, we have an other block right here that hasn't been mitigated. We have this other block right here that hasn't been mitigated. So we are likely going to come right down from this top. We're only going to react to that if the market tells us that we're going to drop from this area down. You can make use of the chat box if you actually want me to look out for any pair you've been trying to look out for. Just drop the pair on the chat box and I'm going to do justice to that pair. So for USD card, this is basically what I am looking out for price to continue this bullish move before we finally get that drop to the downside. And the next pair I'm going to be looking out for is Euro USD. Euro USD. Yeah, last week we got this move right here. So I'm still anticipating for price to drop. Last week, these are manipulated patterns. You see, I marked it out because I noticed that price is trying to accumulate a little bit in this form. Though we entered from here, but we noticed price was doing this thing. And the market is made to take money from impatient traders and give it to patient traders. The market is not meant to give you money, rather it is meant to take from you. So many people emotions were actually called into action right here, and so many people closed their position at this move. But it is normal. The position was made so as to make you actually run out of your trade, hit your stop loss, and whatever you may call it. So you can see how price went up, took out this high, and now we're dropping to this point. How are we dropping to that point? You can see, well, if you understand the psychology of candlesticks, whenever you see a long wick like this, it signifies something, that there was actually a strong pressure around there. Price was pushed low before it went higher. So it's your duty to go lower to lower time frame to actually see the candlestick that's actually there. And right here we have this sell to buy candle. So we'll be placing our take profit level there, and also the market can still go lower from that area. The market can still go lower from that area down to this point. It is very possible, but just take what you can and leave the market alone for the next call. And you see, price has also created this equal high. That means a time in the future we're going to take out this high. The time will come when we're going to take out this high. But for Euro USD right now, I'm anticipating price to drop either to this level or to this daily order block that took out this liquidity, or if that is not the case, to this final place here, which will be around 236 pips move from this side. The market has a say of itself. We don't predict the market. We are only going to react to what the market gives, and then we are going to move. So I'll be looking at Euro JPY as our next pair. Euro JPY, I remember I did a Zoom breakdown on this pair. I did a Zoom breakdown on this pair right here. I did a Zoom breakdown on this pair. If you have not watched the pair, okay, let me check the chat box. Please, can you look at USD? I didn't get this. Can you please retype it so that I'll see it well? I didn't get that. Kindly retype it so that I'll get it well. So for Euro JPY, if you've watched the breakdown I did on this pair on YouTube, if you've not watched it, just kindly go there and watch it, and don't forget to use the subscribe button. Okay, let me check the chat again. Don't forget to use the like and the subscribe button on it. Okay, US oil, sure, I'm going to do that, but let me finish with the currency pairs before I go back to US oil. That has been noted. So right here, we saw how Euro JPY came right to this up, sniped our entry right here, came back up to the 4-hour order block, which is 50% for the 2-hour order block. And the market came right here, sniped our entry, dropped, came right to this order block right here again. And now we are seeing this drop, though I didn't call this entry last week, but I called the overall drop on the YouTube. You can still go on, the videos are still there, watch them, and you can use them as reference purpose anytime you're actually being confused on what the market is trying to do. Now, I'm not really having any different bias on this pair. I'm still expecting price to actually correct a bit, and we continue dropping right to this other block right here, this other block right here, and there is a 1-hour order block right at this place before we are looking to go long on the chart. Now, the next pair I'll be looking out for right here on my watch list. The next pair I will be looking out for is GBP JPY. GBP JPY. Wow. Yeah. I love what this pair did last week. This is a very simple institutional play. You know, retail traders are taught to trade chart patterns of when you see flags, you buy bullish flags, you buy bearish flags, you sell. Now you can understand why this happened. We called this trade on Trade House, and we had a sniper entry on this 4-hour order block. Please, can you share the link of the YouTube channel? Sure, I'm going to do that at the end of this video. I'm going to drop it on Trade House group. If you're there, you're going to get it. I'm going to drop it right there. Thank you for actually requesting for it. I'm going to drop it right there. Now, we actually got the sniper entry on GBP JPY last week, but we saw how price behaved price was sluggish to move. And now we noticed in the sluggishness of price, it created a pattern. It created a flag pattern. And most retail traders have been told that whenever they see a flag, this is a bullish flag, you tend to buy the breakout. Now look at what happened. Price broke out aggressively and dropped, hitting so many stop losses right here. So this week, we'll just be expecting GBP JPY. After this move, we're expecting GBP JPY to just give us a nice redistribution, and then we'll drop down. So this week, this is what I'm expecting GBP JPY to do. Nothing much, nothing serious there. Then for NZD JPY, I will call a sniper entry on these two, a 2-hour sniper entry on these two, and we had an in-structure manipulation, whereby price kept on accumulating or distributing at this point, creating a bullish flag. But if you should understand how the institution tend to move price, you understand that they only wanted to cause a fake out here. And you see how so many people were caught on this buy and couldn't get in on this sell, having their stop loss being smashed. So right here on NZD I'm just expecting this thing to pull back a little bit, just like what I'm expecting on GBP JPY. Then we'll get that drop. Remember, right here we have this move. We have this place that was taken out by this candlestick. So I'm running out of time. I just have to increase my speed. I'll be looking at GBP NZD, GBP NZD. GBP NZD, this was called on Traders Live. And we got this entry, the first entry, we got the second one based off a daily order block that we saw right here. And you see how price just dipped in. We're expecting price to go up to this area, to this daily order block, and also an IPA area right there. And we still have our eyes on this aggressive move, clearing this equal high right here. Then the next pair I'll be looking out for is Euro NZD. Euro NZD, pardon me, I'll still be looking out US oil. The next pair I'll be looking out for is Euro NZD. Euro NZD, we saw what price did before it closed. We saw how price accumulated right here. We got this sniper entry, but we call this trade right here. We got another mitigation of this other block, but price wasn't ready to move up. Price kept moving sluggishly. So on the daily, we noticed that we had this other block right here. If you make use of the 8-hour chart and all other charts, you'll notice an order block right here, and price dipped into that other block and reversed. So right here, we'll just go down to a lower time frame like the 1 hour. We'll just go to a lower time frame like the 1 hour or the 4-hour chart. Let me make use of the 4-hour right here. We got this sniper entry, this other block right here. So we'll just set our entry at the opening. We'll just set our entry at the opening. Then our stop loss right at this point. And we're expecting the market to be triggered from this point right to any equal high you can see on the chart. All these areas, yeah, nice areas for take profit levels, IPA area, take profit level. And then this ultimate IPA area before we'll know what price will do from there. Remember, this trade was called on Trade House, and I was projecting about 1,000 pips, but price did drop from right here and gave us 582 pips. So let's see if this will be a pullback for us to go lower on the pair. We're not going to predict the market. We're just only going to react off the chart. Then for GBP AUD, we had this sniper right here. It was called live on traders. We had the sniper right here mitigating the 4-hour order block, and also a 15-minute order block right here. And now we see price as price is moving, currently sitting at 216 pips in profit. This will be my exit, and this IPA area will also be a potential exit point. Then for CAD which will be the second to the last pair on the currency I'll be looking out for. CAD we had this move, how price filled 50% of this IPA area, then dropped, went up again. We got to this entry, and we are currently holding this trade down to this order block right here on the 1 hour. You can see that order block. Then for CAD same thing happened. This was called right in trade house. If you're in trade house, I will urge you to actually take our charts, look at them, compare them to yours, use them to learn, use them to grow. There's a reason why we don't always send out signals. We want you to learn, we want you to grow, we want you to understand the chart, and we want you to be able to manipulate your way through to the chart to know what the chart is actually doing. Not always we sending you signals and you taking trades. Sometimes just look at what we send and learn from them, compare them with your own charts, and correct your chart if there is need for you to correct your chart. So I'm expecting this to drop to this place, though this trend line don't really mean nothing, but I just use them as a confirmation for me to see, okay, there's a lower high, there's a lower low, there's a lower high, this is a lower low, this is the lower high, and right here we're anticipating this lower low, which happens to be an area of equal low. So the more price has been at a place, the likely price is going to go back to that place. So right now I'll be going to US oil. If you have any pair you want me to look out for, this is the time. Make use of the chat box, drop the pair, and I'm going to look out on them right away. US oil. You know, this pair is actually moved fundamentally. From a fundamental standpoint, it is, so we can actually still trade it from a technical, because though fundamental rules the market, technical is a representation of what happens fundamentally. Right here on US oil, looking at the simple price action, we're seeing that price is currently in a bearish move, impulse, corrective, impulse. What are you expecting? Corrective, and then impulse to the downside. So now how do we get in on the chart? We just mark out series of areas. Right here, we just mark out this area, which is a potential area for US oil to drop to, which is around 55. So we can anticipate the drop of price to this point. Now let's go to a lower time frame and see where we'll be looking on entering the chart. So now we notice something on this chart, that price is currently accumulating. Price is currently accumulating. Price is currently accumulating, creating liquidity, and whenever I see price creating liquidity, just get ready, something is about to happen. Price is creating liquidity, and right here we have this other block that hasn't been mitigated, and now we have this liquidity area. So we are likely to see, put your eyes there, right here. So we are taking that area into consideration. And if you look at this place right here, if you should look at this point right here, we have this area of liquidity also that was cleared right here. We had this drop, and now we are having price consolidate right here. The institution, they're trying to stack up their orders right here. We're having them stack up their orders right here. So what are we expecting? We're expecting price to go right to this up and drop. And now if we want to check this out, it will be like an impulsive corrective, and we have this drop. If you should go back on the daily, you'll see how price sniped this daily order block. Price has sniped this daily order block, so we're expecting price to snipe this 4-hour order block also. And you know, price usually come to either the opening of the order block or the 50%. So we are not just solely going to be relying on the opening of this order block. we are going to actually mark out the 50% also. The 50% also. So our entry will be between this opening and 50%, and we're going to mark it out. We're going to mark it out. Let me use another stuff right here. So we're going to mark it out. So our entry will be between this area. So I expect price to consolidate, create a breakout, because this looks like a flag. So many people are going to fall for the trap that this is a flag. So I expect price to keep accumulating right here, and then I expect price to do something like this. I expect price to just do something like this, cause this breakout, trap buyers on the chart, and then we're going to see a massive, massive, massive drop. Kindly put a 111 if you actually got everything I've said on this weekly breakdown. Kindly use the chat, put a 111 on the chat box. If you actually got a thing or two from what I've said, you can actually go back and rewatch this video. It will be on the YouTube. It will be in the group. Yeah. I have more people on this chat. Kindly use the chat box, put a 111 on the chat if you actually got everything I have just said. So if you're not a part of Traders Elite group, where we drop more of our signals, and we also have one-on-one section with them. If you're not a part of our traders group, just message at traders admin, and do well to join. See you during the week, and do have a productive week ahead. I'm going to stop recording now, and in 30 minutes or so, we're going to get the video right across to us. Make use of the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do have a great day ahead. Thank you for joining.